do Instagram. All right, we're going.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? We made it. It's a milestone marker for us basketball fans. It's only right. March Madness, NBA playoffs ramping up, that we reached episode 60. Ben, Ryan, Chase here. What's going on, everyone?
Yep. Happy to be here talking some March Madness. Finally came to a close. I think maybe a little bit how we all weren't expecting it, but dominant fashion, I must say.
Yeah, UConn, I saw the last 2 years 12-0 against the spread in the tournament. And they again, like last year, never had really a close game at all.
Yeah.
Are they undefeated in every single championship game now still?
Yep. Yeah, 6-0. 6-0.
That's ridiculous.
All their championships have come after 1999. So they have yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You think of the women's, and then the men are just like fell up there too. And it's weird because it was 2 1s in the men and 2 1s in the women.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
And obviously we're about to dive in, but we also have a bunch of stuff on tap for tonight's show. We're going to touch on March Madness and obviously the winners of our bracket. Ben's going to give a quick WNBA preview with all the hype of the women's tournament leading into the WNBA season. Obviously, NBA season, now that March Madness is over, we're going to touch on that. And then if we have time, obviously, we're going to get up to speed with current events going on in baseball.
Oh, yeah.
So
always baseball to talk about, but we'll see. We'll see if we have time, depending on how the podcast is going. So.
Yeah.
For certain.
But, all right, well, why don't we talk quick about March Madness. So I'm bringing up the bracket quick. So bringing up the bracket. So I just want to show, so for our AFR podcast bracket, if you guys entered, we appreciate it. We had 29 or 30.
Yeah.
So
we had a lot of brackets.
Yeah. So congrats to Andrew Katz, who took home the dub. Matt Catroco in second, Christopher Rodriguez in third, and Ruth Pessa in fourth. So
yeah.
Top 4 get a prize. Everyone else, sorry, just missed out. But
yeah, first off, like the amount of UConn and Purdue, they came through and delivered, and they delivered for the bracket too. Yeah. Christopher Rodriguez, can we open up his bracket real quick? The fact that he beat over half the UConn people and didn't get the 320 points. What's his Final Four looking like? Did he? So he
had UConn, Alabama, and Purdue.
Wow.
Whoa.
So having Alabama come out of the bottom left region of the bracket,
and he had Kentucky going really far.
Yeah. Final Four.
And he still finished. And he still finished this well. So, a lot of times everyone says the first, second round, even the second week in those games don't matter as much because you get so many points for Final Four in the championship, but not picking the team right and still beating over half the UConn folks. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
But shout out to everyone. And yeah, Andrew Kratz, I mean, there's plenty of luck involved. We obviously, whenever we get a chance to talk to you about what prize you want and stuff, I'm interested to see how you went about it. If it was just straight luck, there's plenty of luck no matter what anyone says, but you did win. So obviously you get first pick of the litter for our AFR prizes. And Ben, do you want to go through them right now while we're talking about it?
Yeah, so we got some cool prizes. If you guys didn't look, you guys can look at our Instagram and see we made a post beginning of the tournament kind of going over some prizes we'll offer to top 4. So a couple things. We got 2 blaster boxes. These 2 right here.
UFC
and WNBA. So if anyone wants those are open. Top person. So who got first again? Andrew?
Yep.
Andy?
Andrew Katz.
You can get 2 picks, I think, is what we're going to say.
Yeah, we're going to give you 2 rides, but
not 2 of the blaster boxes.
Yeah.
So we also have golf balls. So we're going to give out a sleeve of golf balls, shirts.
Yeah, AFR shirts.
Gift cards, so we can talk about that if that's something you want as well. And then you can be on the podcast if
Yeah.
that's something that is really interesting to you, and we would love to have you on. So
Has to be sports related,
it has to be sports related.
but any type of 5-10 minute segment
Yeah.
you want to talk about, you want your voice to be heard on After Further Review, you know,
we're not going to tell you what sport. So
anything of your choice. It can be whatever topic you want to talk about. Like if we're talking about cricket in India, like
you got to give us a little
waiting for
notice, though. If you're going to talk about cricket, you got to let us at least get a little insight as to what's going on in the world of cricket.
But I'm really excited. I think the 4 people who won, I really appreciate you listening, making the brackets, being a part of this, and you know you're going to get to be a part of low-key some AFR after hours to help us figure this all out. So
I love it.
Love the AFR after hours.
I'm gonna dig that saying right into the ground and kill it. But
I love it, after hours. And we all know the real grand prize is the segment with us. I mean, that really is.
Yeah,
that's what I'm pulling. I'm really hoping the guy that actually chose Alabama to win it all in our bracket, I forget his name. I think it was Jim Taylor. He actually reached out and told me that if he won it all, he was gonna pick to be on the show. And he wanted to break down his Alabama pick. So, you know, we did have some people wanting to be on it. They're not going to be able to. So don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but Ben, you can probably stop sharing the bracket and we can just dive into just the tournaments overall if you want.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy because you think about everyone was talking about the women's over the men. But you had basically the top 1 seeds from both just in it, not just 2 1 seeds, but pretty much the top 2 1 seeds.
Yeah, UConn for the men's, South Carolina for the women's. And I feel like we should first talk about UConn. Ben, you said they're 12-0 against the spread in the last 2 tournaments.
Yeah, and I wanted to pick them. I love UConn, but it was hard to pick. It's hard to pick the number 1 overall team when you know so many people are going to pick them. But what a crazy run! And it's not like they have one star. Like in the past, they've had a Kemba, they've had a Shabazz, they've had these guys these point guards who take over the game. Last year they had Jordan Hawkins, some first round NBA guys, but they don't have like a star. They're just playing like really good team basketball, and it's they got some great players, but
6-0 in championship games. Would you consider them? You said since '99.
Since '99.
Is that enough for a dynasty or no? Because it's harder in college sports to build one with different coaches and players circling through sometimes. 6 championships in 20, I guess in 25
I don't think I
years.
can call it a dynasty.
Okay.
To me, a dynasty is a shorter window of like a I mean, if they somehow become the first ever team to like go, back to back.
Has that never happened before?
I don't think so.
UCLA in the 60s.
I could be wrong. I don't honestly know. That's got to be one of the hardest things to do. Is first of all, it's so hard to go back to back, let alone three-peat.
Yeah, I mean, who's ever three-peated in pro sports?
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe the Yankees in 1910 when no one cared about it, but
yeah. I mean, it's happened. Obviously, the Chiefs are going to try to chase it right now in football. But the fact that UConn, I mean, they basically just went in a calendar year 12-0 in winner go home games. That's pretty insane.
UCLA did from 1967 and 1973. They won 7 straight. So.
What?
John
7 straight?
They won 7 straight from 67 to 73.
No.
That's wild.
Were they the only one in the tournament? There's no way. How was that possible?
Yeah. I don't know what the tournament looked like. That is a good question.
Why does no one ever bring that up?
I don't know.
It's insane. You know what's crazy is they're still well known. Like we were watching college basketball and Lindsay was asking me while we were watching in front of the TV. She's like, hey, isn't UCLA really good? Why aren't they in it? And like, it's been like 50 years now since this run, but they're still known as like a top school for basketball.
Okay, it only involved 23 schools, though.
Okay.
The 67 tournament, Ben. Come on. By 68, they had to have been up to like 32 teams.
Oh, okay.
They increased it by 1 team every year since then.
That could be
I mean,
Nope,
that's
23 and 68.
Oh, did you see the Lou Alcindor was on these teams?
Of course he was.
That's
73 got up to 25.
right. So
So the real question is,
That's still 4.
if UConn three-peats, is their three-peat better in a 64 or 68 tournament? Is that a better feat than 7-peat with only 22 teams?
No.
I mean, yeah.
It depends a little bit on their seeding. Their 4-seed run was very impressive. This year, we said it when we looked at their region that there should be no way they don't come out.
Mm-hmm.
But they did have to play Purdue in the final. But that was probably their first actual tough match from what we saw looking at the region. But last year's was very impressive.
Yeah, that's a question. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's still crazy they went back to back in the climate they did when all the rules are different now, where you could basically just switch your team out every single year. So it's impressive that they did it with, I don't know how much roster turnover, but it didn't seem like an insane amount. Like they pretty much kept their group, added a few pieces, and then kept it going. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it's just so like these both tournaments now they've won. They have not had any game, literally not one game that was like close.
That was madness.
Yeah, there wasn't one.
Yeah. It was insane. I mean, I don't know how much you
was
guys.
Any game single digits? No game was like,
no.
That's just ridiculous.
Even last night when they ended the first half up by 6, I was like, this might be the closest Purdue's ever gonna get the rest of this game. Like it just seemed like they were tired. They had every single answer that Edie had, UConn would come back and have a bigger play. It felt like
it was like Illinois. They were up by only 5 at the half, and then it's 10, and then 15, and then 20.
Yeah. And the second they came out in the second half, hit a 3, and it was only a 9-point lead. It might as well have been 30. Like just the look on Purdue's face of like, this is never gonna end. Like no matter what they could do.
There's no flaws. I mean, like you see them, they bring it on every defensive possession, and you're like, and then you're watching Purdue play great, which we have to give Purdue a lot of credit for losing to a 16 last year and Zach Edey getting trashed on all year. They trucked through the tournament, and they also had great defensive possessions, but UConn, no matter how good of a defensive possession Purdue would have, UConn would still score. Like Zach Edey would have a crazy block. UConn would get the offensive rebound, kick it out, hit a 3.
Yeah.
And to your point, Chase, Zach Edey was doing work, and I don't know if you guys saw, but in the previous 2 games combined, he only sat a total of 33 seconds.
Yeah.
And so which isn't that bad in the quarterfinals, but he played Saturday night and basically played an entire competitive college basketball game. And you could just see 3/4 of the way through the first half, he was shot.
Yeah.
And they still kept him in there because obviously that's how they did it.
It's their only option. I mean, and they did their best. They got UConn to get into some foul trouble, but they could just never get that last push, it's felt like. And I always think it's important too when they play the last handful of games, they play it in the football stadium. That has to be so jarring to be playing in an arena all year, and then all of a sudden there's 100,000 people there. There's so much depth behind the backboard. Like I feel like it's more common to see more air balls in the championship games than any other games because of the way the court is set up, where it's just not normal. It's not normal. Like you don't play on a raised court in front of that many people pretty much ever all season.
Yeah, and it was loud.
It was crazy.
It was loud because I mean it's basically you get half UConn, half Purdue. And both fan bases wanted to be heard from the moment they were introducing the players. And I mean, I still think overall it was as good of a game as you could be for UConn dominating. I don't know also because the biggest thing was Donovan Clingan versus Zach Edey, which I didn't like that they were hyping that up because, like Ben said, Clingan's not their guy. I mean, it helps that he's 7 feet tall, but their team is well-rounded. Did you guys, which is kind of crazy, college basketball is still pretty old school, and the 7-footers help you big time. Do you guys know this is the first time 2 7-footers met in a championship game for college basketball since the 80s?
Yeah, I didn't know that till I saw the game. But yeah,
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair with
crazy.
Klingon though, too, he is projected to be like a top 10 pick. So I know that's someone that he's probably going to go higher than Edie.
He'll be a better NBA player than Edie because Edie's just so old school.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Edie's got too much Jaleel Okafor stink to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember I was reading somewhere how basically if you want for 5 to 8 minutes of an NBA half, first half and second half, if you want to play old school basketball where every position plays their guy, Zach Edey's the guy that can come off the bench and contribute, which they were the article was pretty confident that that's who he can be. But the problem is in today's NBA, Edey's not going to be any more than that, which I mean, who knows if he's going to be mad about that or not.
I mean, he's going to be a money backup on the Spurs next year.
Yeah, that's true. His height's going to help him.
Yeah.
And he reminds me of a Luke Garza, who was just a dominant, who's dominant for Iowa, a dominant player, and then destroying the G League right now.
Yeah, I mean, and he can always change too. These guys are so young. It's okay, what they are right now, they could always morph themselves or learn some skills.
Yeah.
Joel never played basketball until he was in high school, and now he's an MVP.
Yeah. And Edey's conditioning, the fact that he played basically 3 straight games without breaks.
Oh, yeah.
Embiid gets gassed out there after 2 seconds sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm oh, yeah, he's just big. And then I'm seeing Edey literally run up and down the court making plays on both ends. I was I had to give him a lot of credit because we trashed on him last year. I don't know if we can find the clip or not, but we were just destroyed.
I mean, yeah, I feel they just rode him too hard. If they only had to play one quarter, they did a damn good job to keep the game as close as they did. But 2 quarters of just attacking Edey and trying to make everyone else pick up the weight was just not working out. It felt like UConn, somebody would miss and they would always just get the second opportunity, and that person just did it. Made it count, made an extra pass. They were really crafty with a lot of their offensive plays. And Newton, I gotta say, gives me a little bit of Maxey vibes where he runs so hard at the net, and you're how the fuck is this gonna go down? And then he scores somehow. It's he did that all in the air with minimal amount of time.
Just flipping it up there.
Yeah, he's just I'm gonna run towards the net. Whatever happens, happens. And I'm this is not gonna work, and it works every single time.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Overall, I think great men's tournament. I think there was, your upsets. Ultimately, yeah, like Ben said, a little chalky at the end, 1-on-1. But I don't know if you guys have any other points to make on the men's. I have one more, and it's for Ben. And I want to just ask your opinion on Hurley, UConn's head coach. Because I don't know, when to see some guy take a charge or something and he's just screaming, it's a flop with all of his emotions. I know he's a very emotional guy and everyone coins his different facial expressions, but do you like Hurley? Do you think he's a good coach?
My dad's a big fan of Hurley to some extent. And I'll tell you, so he went to school in Rhode Island, University of Rhode Island. So that's his team, Division I team. So Dan Hurley coached Rhode Island before UConn, and he had them in the tournament a couple times when Rhode Island, I think they even got a win as in a 10 seed or something. So he's proven at every level he's been at, he's a good coach. And he has his brother, wasn't his brother Iowa State or something?
Well, his dad's Bob Hurley, who's
but doesn't his brother coach also in college?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. Seems like they come from just a family of coaching.
Yeah. Bobby Hurley. So I don't know where Bobby Hurley is right now, but I think he's also in college.
Doing
I don't even have a question now. I just kind of
I asked if you liked him. Do you think I
like him? I didn't necessarily.
It's easy to say yes when he's.
He's Arizona State's head coach right now, Bobby Hurley.
Oh, okay.
They did not do well.
Yeah, they did a lot in this tournament.
But I mean, he went from he went from Wagner, then went to Rhode Island for 6 years, and then from 2018 to present was UConn's head coach. I really liked. I think was it Kevin Ollie that was before him.
Yeah.
I really liked him too.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's done a great job with the program. Can't fault the results. Yeah, I don't necessarily. I don't like the when he went on the court and then got all salty that he got a foul last night. That was kind of like, bro, what do you expect?
Yeah, I was salty about that too. But then I was like thinking about it. I was like, because I called him Doc Rivers, and then I'm like, I feel like we get mad at the players, but the coaches are really out of it.
Yeah.
Like Nick Nurse loses his marbles every other play.
Yeah.
So it's not just the players. We have to throw. So I don't want to throw all my hate on Hurley because he's not the only guy that does that by any means. And
no, it just seems like he's the most expressive out of everyone, including the players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when he's saying he's flopping. Did you see him and Edie cross pass? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
When him and Edie cross pass? Well, I'm like, Edie's just a kid. Like, of course Edie's gonna say something. It's what.
Yeah. Well, and he also played. He was a point guard at Seton Hall in the 90s. Mm-hmm. So he does have that like playing experience. He's probably like a scrappy backup point guard, but
everyone has their own style too. If this is what gets him to win games, then UConn as a program is not going to fault him for it. So
no, it's been good. I mean, and he used Rhode Island as a stepping stone. That's kind of right now. RG Miller is at Rhode Island trying to do the same thing, get his name back up there. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, Hurley's done a great job with the program, regardless how you feel about him.
But let's move on to the game that everyone in America actually watched, since it was on at a reasonable hour over the weekend.
Yeah, what the heck? I'm so salty about last night's game. But anyway, time is ridiculous.
No, yeah, but let's go to the women's because I know we didn't talk about it as much. We didn't have our bracket challenge in there, but I feel like the women's tournament delivered equally, setting themselves up.
I will say we did a women's basketball challenge. I put it in the group chat. Only 3 people joined. It was me, Ryan, and Julia. And Ryan picked the Final Four exactly right. So
destroyed and had South Carolina winning it all. They came
nice.
Through. But yeah, the game. I mean, the story going in was all Caitlin Clark, and wasn't even like I barely heard anything about South Carolina potentially. But it was a perfect year.
Yeah, it was. The storyline was great. A perfect year team, one of the best in the nation, versus everyone's favorite, Caitlin Clark, which I know it's not an AFR favorite. It's a separate issue. We're already getting some backlash for it, but we're all staying true on that train.
There's nothing against Caitlin Clark. Just the hype is what she's done for the sport is great, and I think it's great, but the player is not matching the hype, in my opinion.
Yeah, like when South Carolina won and they panned from.
I mean, she was super inefficient in both games. We watched the UConn game, and there was a pretty questionable call in the Iowa-UConn game with that screen when they were letting him. I mean, Ryan and I we watched the last 5 minutes of the second half, they were playing so physical, and then the call. That screen that they did when they were letting them play, we were just commenting, oh, this is fun. They're actually letting them be physical and play. And
I mean, they were showing like South Carolina celebrating. They were showing like Caitlin Clark walking to the locker room. I'm like, okay, like there's a bunch of players from the Iowa team too. They were a good team. We touched on that, but I actually watched the game at a bar, and it was like 90% Iowa rooting, and then there was like one table there, and this girl anytime South Carolina scored was just making the biggest commotion, and I was loving it because I was rooting whether I was just not getting loud.
We're in PA in case anyone wants to know, so there shouldn't be any reason Iowa's that.
No, especially in the Big Ten, especially Penn State, Big Ten, or Villanova, there should be no Iowa. A lot of Clark hype. And let me just make this clear: the biggest Caitlin Clark fan in the room. I was in the bathroom with him at the same time, and he didn't wash his hands. So I just tells
you everything you need to know about Iowa fans.
That's your fan base right there, Iowa. So
yeah, I mean, and like Dawn Staley has local ties to Philly, so I feel like you have to support that. Like she always takes the time out to acknowledge her roots. But yeah, like we were saying, Caitlin Clark. I feel like everyone was just eating the hype up before it even comes out of her ass, like we were saying, and she's literally just the female Steph Curry, and I feel like it's gonna ruin women's basketball, where it's like she wants all the calls, doesn't really get like deserve them half the time, takes crazy shots which are great, but it's like I feel like the women's game right now is the way that the NBA used to be, where it mattered about like how much skill you had and physicality and like making the mid-range shots that are just gone from men's basketball now.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's going to bring in this revolution of just three-pointers.
Yeah, to your point, I was going to mention that, Chase. The game is not like the NBA. Like, they do a lot more. They utilize their center. Like, they
play their positions.
Right.
Like,
they play positions, and they are more physical. They feed it a lot more down low in the posts. They do a lot more of those shots. And, I mean, Sabrina Ionescu, literally, when I talked about that last week, it's because that's what she did in college, is she did deep three. She's been a very good WNBA player, very good, but that has not translated into like she has not been an MVP candidate. She has not been a superstar to that extent. So I think you're gonna see some of that growing pains on an Indiana Fever team, which seems like where she's gonna go. So
yeah, we'll get to that shortly. We should note she is a part of probably one of the best group of women's college players ever, like notable. Then I don't have the list up on me, but Paige Bucher, Angel
Reese, Juju Watkins,
Cardoza, Juju's going to be in college for a while still.
But just the group, like you take your top 10 teams, and at least 5 of those teams have players that everyone knows and loves around the country. Like that's pretty cool. The women's sports have gained plenty of momentum, which is cool in itself. But college basketball is just, I mean, it's electric, no matter women's, men's. And the South Carolina-Iowa game overall was a good game too. I mean, Clark went off in the beginning, then she cooled off, but the overall game was great. And I mean, Chase, I was rooting for South Carolina. I had him in my bracket. I liked Dawn Staley a lot, so I was happy for her too. I think she's a great coach and deserved it.
Yeah, I don't know how many championships now she has. I think it's two or three, but they all came within a short amount of time. So, I mean, she's building a real legacy on the top of the fact that she was already a great player legacy.
Yeah, she
have both.
I was going to say, she might be a Hall of Fame player. Yeah, she's a Hall of Fame player, I was going to say. I don't know how many she has.
I think she has 2. I think this is the second one in South Carolina.
And he has a player?
That I don't know, but I should probably know that.
We'll have to
and like I would say too, this year I definitely watched a lot more of the women's bracket and the tournament itself, and I feel like it was just because of the time. Like they were on way more consistently at a better time than the men.
Yeah.
So I feel like I really got to see a lot more of the women's games, and I don't know, just translate. Like we all brought up Angel Reese. Angel Reese's brother plays at Maryland, Julian Reese. He is not nearly the same level as Angel Reese is.
Yeah.
And it's like crazy that so many more people know her than her brother. And like, Maryland sucked this year. They were god awful. You shouldn't have wasted any time watching any of their games because it was that bad. It was so bad. But, there's a counterpart to her, and no one ever talks about him.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
And he was pretty highly ranked too.
Yeah. And so for her accolades as a player, she was a 6-time All-Star.
This is Dawn Staley.
Yeah, she did not win any championships, but she was also 2-time College Player of the Year. Which is pretty.
I feel like that's usually runner-up to whoever loses the championship gets that.
Because she went to Virginia. But she's a 3-time. This is her 3rd championship
as a coach.
3rd time, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
2017 they won also, which that was they had Aja Wilson.
Top player.
Which is she has built a winning program though.
Yeah, the fact that she had all 5 starters last year, turnover it's absurd. Aliyah Boston was a number 1 overall pick last year to the Indiana Fever. They get the number 1 overall pick again. So
good try.
But I mean, that is really impressive. So yeah, hats off to her. I think unfortunately, as you know, the Caitlin Clark stuff is taking that a little bit away, which is a shame when you have a perfect season, did the job that she did, and the players, the way that they played, and Cardozo's a special player too. So
it also gives credit anytime. Do you guys remember like 8 to 10 years ago when Kentucky had the perfect season going? Everyone was rooting against them. When the Patriots had the perfect season, everyone was rooting against them. It has to show something that Dawn Staley has a perfect season going, and like I was rooting for her to complete it, which I always like rooting for the underdogs, and it was just like Ben said, 5 brand new starters this year. Like, let's run it back and still compete at a high level and not even lose a game. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was awesome to see, and I feel like it just kind of put the wheels on the Caitlin Clark hype train of she's the greatest thing ever that basketball has ever produced. She could do no wrong. Like, it's still a team sport at the end of the day, and I feel like the team that played like a team won, and I feel like that's all that really matters.
Yeah, no, for sure. And as you were making a great point, Ben was digging out his 10,000 baseball cards.
Found my Dawn Staley autograph card.
That's a money.
Oh, that's a nice card.
You know how much I got it for? It was like 5 years ago, 3 years ago, like $3.
$3.99.
It was basically like $3-4 in one of those like $3 or $5
boxes. It's gonna pan out.
Dang.
No one paid attention to women's sports like even 3 years ago, I feel like.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we got that WNBA breaker box available, so let's get another look at that.
Yeah.
All this blaster box.
You can get autographs. There's a chance one in every like 4 boxes has an autograph, and the autograph checklist you can get like Deladon, Taurasi's on there. You can get those autographs.
Brittany Griner auto. Oh my god.
I don't. She might be. I don't know. But like Becky
That's
Hammond,
nice.
I think's on there. Some decent names.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's a quality item.
No, but overall, great March Madness year. And Ben, I think you're already diving into it, but why don't you give us a quick WNBA preview while we're at it?
Yeah, so I'm not gonna get too much into it. I think we'll maybe go a little more in depth in May. What the first crazy part is the draft. The WNBA draft is in 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Like that, which is just a really crazy turnaround time.
They have no off season.
Yep, there's no off season, and they don't even get to like South Carolina players who are like maybe going to the draft. They enjoy this for like a week or so, and then they have to gear up for a potential draft.
That's wild.
So it's just it's April 15th. So it's next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Is there a reason the WNBA season isn't the same as the NBA? Do they share courts and stuff, or are they just trying to get more exposure if they have it at a different time of year? More people might watch basketball in the summer.
I think it's probably courts. I think it's also in the past had to do with they played in other leagues, some of them, but I don't know as to
league.
I mean, it's kind of like, I'm just trying to compare it to like the XFL, whatever, which plays while the NFL is not going on to try to get more exposure.
Right.
Like if you like basketball and the only thing on is a WNBA game, you might watch the WNBA game. But
sure.
Yeah. I do like how quick the turnaround is, though. Like, I think it's good for the WNBA right now to build off all the Caitlin Clark hype.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get it and get her in the draft. And then the season starts how soon after that? In June, I guess?
I think it starts in, I wanted to say May. I think the first games are in May.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like for the WNBA, it's probably the best option right now is to build off the tournament.
Yeah, May 14th.
Yeah. So
it is good, Chase. That's a good point. It's really good exposure for anyone. Like you don't have to go to bed and forget about, some of these players and try to remember them in 6 months. Like it's going to be like, oh yeah, Caitlin Kirk. Oh yeah, she just got drafted now in her first game. Oh, I might tune into that. Like,
Oh yeah. How many people are going to tune in to Indiana Fever's opening night game?
Well, and the other thing, so the Aces, when they play the Fever, they apparently moved stadiums so they've already done it. They've moved stadiums from where they were going to play. It's like 12,000, and they're moving to is it the Capital One Arena in Vegas?
Oh yeah.
Where
the T-Mobile Arena.
Or T-Mobile, we can host like 20,000. So like already anticipation of Caitlin Clark.
Oh, they should get Bruce Buffer to do the introductions, make it a whole thing.
They should.
So the Aces are going to have the availability to sit more fans than the Oakland Athletics.
Oh yeah, we can.
year.
Yeah, we can. That's a separate issue. But as far as the WNBA goes, there's two clear top teams. It's Aces and Liberty, and there's no one touching those two. I'd be surprised if there's any other matchup in the finals. And most likely the Aces are going to repeat, which is I wish it was a little more like parity. But I feel like how it's going to go. Liberty kind of tried to form a little bit of a super team, but the Aces are just so good. I mean, they have with Aja Wilson, and they have Chelsea Gray and Kelsey Plum, and then Jackie Young, who's also been an all-star. Like they have 4 of their 5 starters are all-stars and like really good players.
What if you can make that preseason pick? Aces Liberty championship matchup.
Oh, I 100% would make that pick. Liberty with Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu. Stewie is still the best player in the game right now.
It's crazy.
Aja's right there too.
It's crazy. Like we thought she had hype in college, winning 4 championships in 4 years, and then it's crazy
she
that
doesn't have the chip yet, though.
But she's not like a flashy like you said, Chase. She's not a flashy Steph Curry like player. So I feel like just everyone's just like, oh yeah, on UConn they don't lose. Like it's cool to follow, and then they all just forgot about her. So yeah. I guess we'll see what happens with Caitlin.
I mean, she's been in the league. Brianna Stewart's been in the league 6 years after she won. She won all 4 years at UConn, 4 straight titles, which is also
crazy. I mean, we were talking about 3-peats. They 4-peated, and it was no big deal.
Yep, they 4-peated Brianna Stewart. Every one of those teams comes in the WNBA. She's averaging over 20 for her career, which is really good for the WNBA too.
That's a lot of points.
She's in 6 seasons. She's 5-time All-Star, 2-time MVP. And I think when we looked at the all-time list as far as points, we did a deep dive one time randomly by accident. She was up there as far as the only one that potentially was who's in first, way ahead of everyone. Is it Taurasi?
Yeah, it was Taurasi. Yeah,
and Brown
she's way out there.
Yeah, Taurasi's way out there, and she's still going.
Yeah.
Stewart.
Also, how many times did UConn go undefeated when they won their championship? I feel like they did it once or twice, maybe.
I think at least half the seasons they didn't lose.
Yeah, or they lost 1 game in the regular season and still won the championship. They lost to, I don't know, Kim Mulkey.
It looks like they might have had, I don't know in what span and what years, but it looks like they might have had 6 perfect seasons.
Dang.
Oh my gosh.
So I feel like they at least had 2 during that run where they were completely
13-14. They went
that
undefeated.
Wasn't Stewart. That wasn't Stewart.
2009-10 undefeated. 2015-16 undefeated.
That was her.
94-95.
So maybe they only did it one time.
2008 and 2009.
Yeah. So they only did it one time with Brianna Stewart.
But she might have legit lost 3 games total in her college career.
Yeah. They just trucked through everyone every
Maya
year.
Moore did it twice.
Oh,
what? Dang.
Maya Moore, they did it back-to-back years. 2008, 2009, 2009, 2010. They went undefeated both years.
She was also on the Husky, right?
Yeah. They went back-to-back years undefeated and champs. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It's crazy that UConn's college basketball programs from the men's and women's is just ridiculous.
They went up to 90 wins in a row.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what? Take UCLA's 7-peat, throw it out the window.
Chase, no. Chase, we have to value the UCLA 7-peat.
That's the other thing. How many games do they play in the regular season? We don't even know that either.
Yeah, we don't
that
know.
Probably hasn't changed much.
You don't think so?
I mean, well, their conference no longer exists, so.
Oh, well, they might not have been even in the Pac-12 back then.
Yeah, I know. They might have been in the California 6.
That's true.
Yeah, they had some good teams, by the way, they were playing back then. Georgetown, Indiana.
I'm not saying there's not some good teams. I'm just saying how many games they actually play. Okay, so they played 30 games. So,
yeah.
Okay.
All right. All right, now how many times were they undefeated and won the championship?
Yeah.
Because that will really set the argument.
That's right, the 73 year, that was John Wooden's 26th season. They had Bill Walton.
He was just dominating.
They had Lou Alcindor, I know, at one point during that stretch.
Bill Walton, I think.
Every time you say Lou Alcindor, I keep thinking you're going to say Lou Aldeng.
Well, that's a good immaculate grid guy.
It is. We'll keep him in the back pocket.
Also, we've named a bunch of WNBA players, and we're not going to remember any of them when we
actually. Yeah, we've never rattled off that many WNBA players ever in that amount of time.
Yeah. So, but no, it'll be exciting. We'll do more of a deep dive for WNBA as we get closer. And I actually want to go to a Mystics game this year. Tickets, I looked, they're like $25-$30, and even to see like the Liberty, like I'd be kind of hyped to go to a game like that. So.
Yeah, as soon as we get to an Iron Pigs game, Phillies Mets game.
Oh yeah.
I'll
go to a Nationals Mets game.
Hagerstown Flying Boxcars. What, Chase, did you know? Did we tell you that
no.
Hagerstown's getting a team for the Independent League, and they're going to be the Flying Boxcars?
Yeah, they built a new stadium in Hagerstown.
Oh, what?
For the Atlantic League, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So actually, that's one thing we'll have to go to as well. So we'll just have to get a list going.
Tickets are probably cheap for that.
Yeah, you could always see a Michael Martinez join that team.
Yeah, there's definitely some. They posted some former MLB guys, but I don't remember off the top of my head anyone of note. But
yeah.
All right, well let's keep going with basketball.
Flying Boxcars.
Yeah, it's a weird name.
By the way, I was driving through Chambersburg the other day, and there was a billboard. There was a billboard that said Chambersburg's home baseball team. I'm like, this isn't Hagerstown, Maryland. It's a different state.
Yeah.
I was so pissed. I was like,
that's a reach.
I'd love to have a team coming to Chambersburg. That'd be awesome. Because you see the Hagerstown Y partnered with that. I'd be like, damn, that'd be hype if the Chambersburg Y.
Yeah.
So, all right, NBA. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Let's get right at it. We said it before and we said it again. The 76ers aren't dead. Ben, pull up the standings right now. I think we just have to get into the road to the 6th seed. The all-important, not only do you avoid the play-in games, give Embiid an extra week of rest, but you avoid the Celtics and the Bucks first round.
Mm-hmm.
And Chase, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, this has been quite the turnaround from 3 weeks ago when they were in a straight free fall down out of the standings. It seemed like they might even, fall out even further, but it's played out exactly the way we talked about it. We needed it to go. They've won the games they needed to. Embiid got some rest in. They still got to win. So like their chances now, especially closing out the year. Hopefully we can just maintain it. Pacers won their last 2. Not really great, but they dropped that one game beforehand, which was pretty important for us to make up that ground. So, yeah, I would say it's just a big difference from having Embiid back. It seems like the team is playing wildly different now with new energy, basically just picked up where they literally left off when he got hurt in Golden State.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just straight, he provides his talent itself, but then just the winning culture. I mean, Chase, you just touched on it. Saturday night, he only played 3 quarters. They won the game. And then so he ended up sitting out Sunday's game in San Antonio. He wasn't playing max. He wanted to stay in basically all the fourth quarter, ends up going to double overtime. So he drops the asterisk career high 52 points. But to your point, he had been playing all those games without Embiid, but Embiid's back. Embiid's sitting there on the sideline, like all of a sudden, like, let's win these games. Embiid's on the court, Embiid's not. We need to win these games. And since he's been back, they have not lost a game yet. And I mean, look at the standings from the 2 seed through the 8 is separated by 4 games.
Yeah, it's locked in.
So like it's
kind of crazy. The Knicks might get a 3 seed. It's kind of bonkers, especially with all the injuries they've had.
Yeah, but I mean, the Cavs don't have Donovan Mitchell. He's been out.
The Cavs have been since the All-Star break. They've been struggling.
Well,
I don't know what the record is.
Mitchell hasn't played at all. I don't think Donovan.
He's not at all since.
A little bit, but he has not been the same. He's definitely
been hobbled. That's for sure.
Yeah, but so like, it's not only the Pacers need to lose between the Pacers, Cavs. I mean, even the Knicks. Ben, sorry to say, I'd rather the Sixers be in the 4 hole than the Knicks. So.
Yeah, I
I don't
mean,
know. They beat the Bucks last night.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine being the 6th seed and getting a first round matchup against the Magic?
Yeah, that's hype.
Like that's what you should want.
Oh, I don't want to face the Sixers.
No, no.
Honestly, though, out of all the teams I would like to face right now, it is not the two that are in 7 and 8. I would much rather face 3, 5, and 6.
It's so wild.
No, it's like I don't want to face the Heat, and now with Embiid,
Yeah.
I don't want to face the Sixers either. If Embiid wasn't there, I would be fine. But Embiid is, he is a top 3 player in the league. It just when he's healthy, he just is.
Yeah, that's the key point when he's healthy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean it's tight, and you got to think that there's going to be a little bit more shaking before the season totally wraps up here. I mean, I don't know how many games we have left, but there's some teams that are going to be moving up and down here to close out the year.
Yeah, I think the season ends next Sunday, where everyone plays that last Sunday. So I think the Sixers have 3 games left. I'm trying to do some quick math in my head.
Do you want to look at their schedule? Do you know
they have the Pistons right now? They have all winnable games.
They're beating the Pistons by 12.5, and then Embiid was, last I looked, 7 for 11 with 20 points.
All right, usual efficient self, probably on his way to fourth quarter.
Brooklyn, so Orlando will be a big one.
Yeah, so they have they could win out.
Yeah,
they could win out, which would put them at 47 wins.
And I gotta say, I really like the fact that Nick Nurse had in Ricky Council in big points in a game where Doc Rivers would have buried him, probably sent him into the locker room to warm up some towels for the end of the game.
Yeah, how about the job Doc Rivers
big
is doing? I love it. Love to see it.
Doing typical Doc Rivers things, losing before he gets into the playoffs, so he has an excuse of why he lost in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, if they get the Heat or something first round, that's gonna be good luck.
Could you imagine?
I would want.
They get the Heat and then get swept by the Heat
again. Wasn't that? No, they didn't get swept.
Yeah, no, but
I'm also looking forward to. Like this is the point in the year for me. The NBA is just kind of, I don't know.
Until the playoffs, like when between baseball starting and the NBA starting, there's that little gap.
Well, and especially the NBA, because then you definitely see when they get to the playoffs, you definitely see a different level of intensity, a different level of physicality, and I love to see that in the NBA. They're just there's always just a level of relaxed and stuff at. No, I know they're still competing, but I love to see that game elevated when you get to the playoffs, and that's when I enjoyed watching the most.
Yeah. No, huge Chase. I'm a big Ricky Council fan too. I hate that it comes at the expense of everyone just trashing on Tobias more. When there should be no hate right now. We're already
lonely in that corner.
I'm so
lonely in the corner.
Tobias Harris, I want you to know right now, I'm a Philadelphia 76ers fan. I will always support you.
Lonely in there.
Yeah.
I know not every Philly fan will because it's Philly, but, I got your back, buddy, and you're a great guy, and you've been with the team for 6 years. I'm not going to leave you out to dry. And also, if we actually want to win a championship, we need him in there and playing well, regardless of how uneven he's played this season. If he's in there and plays well, it increases the Phillies' chances of getting to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since the beginning of 2000 significantly. So guess what, all you Tobias haters? Hate all you want. It's just going to drive into a great fat excuse of why we didn't get out of the second round again. Or you can just root for him now and hope that he can help project us past that point. Because he's been through as much misery as Embiid has. So. Yeah. But I definitely lonely in that corner.
Yeah, I would say I probably abandoned Tobias a little bit ago, but he has the chance to right the wrong and make everyone feel like an idiot if he can pop off during the playoffs. I mean, if he can just get the 15 points average, that's going to do a world of difference. No one's going to shit on him, and he'll leave and get the bag this summer from somebody else on a dumpy team where he kind of belongs, but
Chase!
It's been downhill since they gave away his best friend, Boban.
Oh,
yeah, honestly, all they had to do was just bring Boban back. He's literally doing nothing. Was he playing with the Rockets right now?
I think he's on the Mavs.
On the Mavs?
Oh, no,
doing nothing.
I don't remember.
Dude,
he could just not show up to the rest of the Rockets games this season. Probably wouldn't know he's gone.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, hey, at least at this point, you can look at the contract and be like, well, at least I'm not the Suns and Bradley Beal's contract.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's not like we just signed him to a big deal. At least this has been a long, excruciating few years with Toby ripping off the Band-Aid slowly, but it's almost off. And
There's been worse.
And he's been the
Yeah.
number 4 guy most of the time. So I get the
I know,
argument
yeah.
of the pay. The pay is where the biggest problem is. I completely validate all of the points about the pay. But to ask a guy who's been basically your number 4 on offense guy for the good chunk, or like the 3-4, once you get out of your top 2 scorers on offense, especially if you're a starter, you're not going to get consistent looks throughout the game. It's just how it works. Like if he was like the second unit guy and led that, then it's like, okay, well, we need you to get 18 a game because we need the points off the bench.
Right.
Or when you have Maxey and Embiid, some possessions just running pick and roll, just them two. And like Oubre's out there too, and Oubre's a great scorer as well. So
yeah. I mean, and Tobias has had 2 bum coaches who never put him in good positions. And I feel like the habits there just weren't good. And now he gets put in I think a little bit better of a position this season to not be just, I mean, I don't know. I guess he was in at the end of Brett Brown's tenure. That was might as well just set a garbage on fire for that one. Then you get Doc Rivers again, garbage fire. So it's almost like you can't blame. Like he's half responsible for the stuff that's happened in his Philly time. It's like, okay, we can't help that sometimes the schemes probably didn't benefit him, even though they should have. Even though Doc Rivers coached him before this, it didn't seem like it at all. And now, he's just kind of dealing with the fact that he's had to deal with it. Really hasn't complained at all. It's not like he's really been out there like pulling a Ben Simmons or Markelle Fultz or any of those guys and making a big deal about it. I mean,
even
he's
James
really
Harden.
he's really just showed up, dealt with the crap, ate his crumble cookies, and been happy with it.
Crumble coming near us.
Yeah. And no, the main issue with him this season was when Embiid went down, he was basically your number 2, and he didn't play like it. Again, validated. I completely understand the frustrations there, but we're slim pickings. I do not want to go another year getting to the second round and losing. And I know we need every piece we have possible. And I'm going to make a big stink about next week. But if Joel Embiid is on the basketball court and he is playing, I truly believe that we have a chance to win a championship. That's it. I mean, regardless of the scenarios, Dame had that one year with CJ McCollum in Portland when they went to the Western Conference Finals. Yeah. And if they didn't have to go up against the juggernaut Warriors, like, you never know. So anything is possible. Like Jamal Murray said the one year, the healthiest team's going to win. Well, guess what, Jamal? There's like every team has an out for the season guy. Ben, my buddy Ben here has been dealing it for months with Randall, who just finally got the tag out for the season. The Bulls have their typical Levine, Ball, Patrick Williams all out for the season. But we'll see. We'll see. If Embiid is out there, regardless of everyone else, I believe the Sixers have a chance. Which, side note, Chase, I don't know if he's actually going to play, but DeAnthony Melton is available now to play the remainder of the season, which is something I didn't know we would see or not. Another piece that would be huge, and he hasn't really played at all in 2024.
Yeah.
There's Knicks matchup with DeAnthony Melton and Shake Milton.
Oh, I like it. And also, I was joking about Covington walking around picking up trash. I'm pretty convinced he's only been doing that. Anytime he'd like to get back on the basketball court would probably help us in some way.
He's a very fair. I was excited when he came back. He did not deliver in the beginning of the season, and then he's just been hurt.
He's literally just been, I don't even know. He's literally just been, he's been the one warming up the towels before everyone gets in there. He's been banned.
It's been a rough.
He's just working in the closet at the Wells Fargo Center. He's not allowed to leave.
Yeah.
It's like when Kentavious Caldwell-Pope could only play Lakers home games when he was on house arrest.
Oh, yeah.
For a stretch of the season, only home games.
That was wild.
But do you have a little game?
Yeah. Okay. So
we're getting to the end of the podcast.
It's episode 60. Basketball has been everywhere. I figured it would just be a fun little episode 60 game. to go with you guys regarding basketball and the NBA, and it's simple. I'm going to give you guys 10 total guesses between you two. So you go back and forth. You'll each end up getting 5 unless you sweep. So the rules are simple. There are 7 guys this year that have dropped a 60-point plus game. Name the 7. You just go snake draft it back and forth whatever you want, but you get 10 shots at trying to name the 7 guys. They've all only done it once. I will give you that hint. So no duplications here. Just 7 different guys dropped a 60 piece this year.
Oh, man.
Donovan Mitchell.
No. Okay, that's 1 guess out of 10. You have 2 more misses.
All right. Well, Brunson did it, right?
Yep.
That's the one I just thought about. All right.
I thought that's who you were going to lead off with. I was like, I don't know who I'm going to go second.
Total brick on my part. You said 60.
60 plus.
60 plus.
At least 60.
Yep. No, I hear you.
So Mitchell's a great guess, by the way, but I just told you he barely played.
Yeah,
I mean, he could have did it. He could have did it game 1.
Was it last year? He had 71 though.
Yeah, last year he dropped 70.
Yeah.
I remember he had a gigantic game. I
also,
know.
if you want to defer to Chase to go
Chase,
again,
if you want to go again, I'm thinking.
All right. I am really digging at the bottom here. Did Luca do 60?
Ding ding, yes sir. Oh, we gotta bring the ding back.
Oh, we do it.
Now I'm really scraping at the bottom.
All right, you're at 3. You got Luca and Brunson, and you missed on Mitchell. Whenever you're down to your
I have another guess, but I really feel like it's gonna be another miss.
I mean,
you have 2 more misses available.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards.
No,
I knew it was gonna be
another miss. Okay, you got to go 6 for 6 right here. Do you want me to give you any hints?
There's one on the Suns.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So
I feel like I'm doing.
you have
really
3
bad.
wrong and 3 right.
Yeah.
3 wrong, 3 right, 4
I
left.
was looking at a player.
There's one really obvious one. There's 2 West Coast and 2
Embiid
East Coast
did.
guys. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Ben.
Yeah.
Dropped a 70 bomb.
Okay.
That's
How many
right.
What are we at? 4
4.
right, 3 wrong.
Yeah, so there's 3 guesses left to get.
2 West Coast guys and 1 East Coast.
2 West Coast
Tatum.
guys.
No,
no
Ben, your guesses have been so off. You're
Tatum?
thinking 50. You're probably thinking 50. Tatum's a big
I'm just
bet
thinking
now.
of someone who's.
Unless StatMuse is way off right here. It's either you or StatMuse.
No, it's
The guy in the East, he was worried about getting the game ball at the end of the game.
I missed that.
Oh, it's a Wemby game. No? Wasn't it against Wemby? No.
I don't know. One notable guy in the West, one guy that Ben used to hype up in the West, and then the East.
Oh man.
I mean, if I give teams, it's just giving it away.
I mean, did Maxey have 60 earlier this year? No.
Nope.
All right, that's my brick.
He had 2 50-point bombs this year, I think.
Okay.
He had the 50 and then the 52 the other night.
Halliburton?
Nope.
Damn it.
All right, on the West Coast, did
Okay, this West Coast team has been amongst one of the best teams in the West this year.
Oh, SGA?
No.
Am I missing someone like Giannis?
Yes. Giannis.
Giannis
He was
at
the one.
60?
He ran back out for the game ball. He was afraid someone was going to take it.
Ew.
All right,
That's a-
last 2 guys. One guy that should always be guessed in these types of situations. And
KD.
no.
Okay.
Good guess.
Steph.
Curry?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All
Did you
right.
say Curry Chase?
Yeah.
All right. Last
I
guy.
meant Seth Curry. No, I'm just kidding.
Last guy, this one you might not get, but Ben was close with his Anthony Edwards guess.
It wasn't
Was-
Cat, was it?
What?
It wasn't Cat.
Yes.
Oh,
Cat
what?
for the last 60 bomb of the year.
Forgot.
I didn't remember Cat, so I looked it up.
I don't remember Cat getting 60. When did that happen? Game 2?
There
Yeah.
now I think about it, it was that game that he was, like third quarter, and then he didn't even play. Or then he lost. Didn't they lose too?
Yes.
Yeah.
I will say it's really hard because the there's a lot of 50-point games anymore, and anytime someone drops 50, they make a big deal out of it. So I will say, like, all of your guys you guessed probably had 50-point games. So once you get to that point, like on social media, it's hard to decipher because it's a big deal no matter what.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But thanks for playing. You terribly.
That was a good one. Yeah. That was pretty hard. I mean,
that was good. Yeah. I thought it was going to be easy.
The MB was the miss. You took Ben's Brunson, and then you guys forgot about Embiid for a second there.
Yeah. I mean, that time away really feels like the first half of the season might as well just been last year at this point.
Well, yeah, it doesn't help that NBA seasons are like 8 months long, so you forget about stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you are on Spotify, we'll probably end it there. We appreciate everyone for listening. If you are watching live on Instagram, YouTube, we are going to just quickly do Immaculate Grid and maybe one of the at-bats like last week.
Yeah, real quick. And Ben, you can probably stop sharing all the NBA stuff.
Oh, that's true. That's fair.
To anyone listening, the show ending now, make sure you reach out to us if you won a prize so we can talk about what you want to get. Especially you, Andrew Katz, you're first in line. We really need to see what you decide so we can make sure we give everyone else their prizes in a timely manner.
Yeah.
But shout out to everyone for playing. Shout out to the winners. We do appreciate you. And, who knows? Maybe we'll be talking to one of you soon.
Yeah. We'll make a post on Instagram, and I will, if I don't hear anything, I will do my best to reach out, but I'm not going to just spend all this time tracking you down. So come find us.
Yep.
Yeah. Claim your prize now.
Exactly. All right. Let's do a quick Immaculate Grid.
Oh, yeah. After hours time.
After hours
time.
Oh, yeah. By the way,
I went the YouTubers and the live folks. What?
I did watch the NASCAR race this weekend. Pretty enthralling. I'll just give it my 5-second recap. Hendrick swept the top 3 spots.
Chase, Mac is getting really low in battery, so.
Oh, I'm good. Yeah, so Hendrick swept the top 3 spots. William Byron put in the work. Really wasn't a close race all day at Martinsville. They really came out dominated. Denny Hamlin last week got the benefit from gambling on the pit stop. This time pitted. No one else pitted. Put him way back behind. There was no way he could make it. And again, 2 weeks in a row, it ended in an overtime fashion. There was an accident both times at the end of the race. So it was just a quick 1, 2, 3, and then they're out. So William Byron putting in the work this year. 3 wins already, pretty much locked in. He's got a win on a big track, a road course, and now here. So in a small track. So it's really showing that he can do it all and do it at the highest level. And he has a knack for hitting big milestone wins for Hendrick Motorsports. I mean, he's won pretty much every time they have a big milestone. He comes out and dominates from start to finish. So that's maybe a little bit of a tell for betting. I don't know what's up with that, but anytime they have people there or a big anniversary, you can pretty much guarantee William Byron's probably going to be top 3. So that's my NASCAR recap, and we'll check in next week.
Oh yeah, appreciate it, Chase.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, might as well bring up Christopher Bell. Not too great of a day. Kind of fell in the standings, but long season, so he can still rebound.
Okay,
for sure.
Yeah. No, it's still. How many races left? Is there a lot
races left? Yeah, I think
it's a long season.
I think they do 30 races or something. So, yeah. By the way, I love the Ibanez pick.
I know. I just saw that.
That's awesome.
All right.
Money.
Here we go. You guys ready?
Let's see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Can the folks, do you have the comments still up?
Yes,
anyone
I do.
Comments?
Yep.
All right, let's get it right now.
Wow, Brewers category. Jeez.
I kind of like this. I feel like there's some teams I haven't seen in a minute.
Like Michael Bourne for Twins Brewers.
I have no idea.
I don't know. Do you play for either?
I don't know.
I like the name. I'm going to go play third base. I'm going to go Brandon Inge.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's what is this? Is that sunglass tan?
Oh, my God.
That's his picture?
Cubs third base. Wasn't there a third baseman for a while? Aramis Ramirez.
Yep.
That's a great name.
Great fantasy guy.
Twinkies third baseman.
I mean, I guess you could go Donaldson probably, right?
Oh, yeah, Donaldson. Yeah. I forgot. Who was their third baseman last year? It was like Kyle Farmer.
Who'd you say after
Might have
Donaldson,
been.
Chase?
Is it Farmer?
Did you say someone after Donaldson?
No,
Oh, okay.
I think so.
Well, I voted for Donaldson. As
Yeah,
long as he
put
doesn't
in there.
in another category.
Oh, he hasn't
No.
played on any of those teams.
He was definitely not born outside the US 50.
No.
I mean, Miggy's going to be the most popular for Tigers
We could do that.
outside.
I was gonna say Pablo Lopez. Was he born outside? Or Luis Arias?
Yeah, put him in there.
Which one do you think?
I think both are. I think aren't they from the same country? Aren't they both Venezuelan or something?
Yeah. All right. Old.
Good hit.
Okay.
Born outside the 50s for the Cubs, Zambrano.
Oh my gosh. Pep just ripped.
Devin, we appreciate you joining.
Oh my gosh. Dev, you got any names right now? Let's go. Clean up the Brew Crew line for us right now.
No cheating though.
D-Fizzle.
Yeah.
What about like
Brewers?
Capuano?
He was on the Twins, right?
I thought he was on the Brewers and Twins, but I don't know. If we can't think of anyone, I'll use it for that.
Brewers Twins. That was it's a mofo of a category. Who did Craig Counsell play for?
Craig Counsell.
He was with the Brewers, right? And somebody
Yeah.
else.
Oof.
Okay, Brewers, Cubs, Kyle Kendrick.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Oh
I have no
God.
idea.
What about Wilson? Is Contreras? Is he on the Brewers now? Chase from the Cubs, or is that?
No, that's his brother.
Oh, that's
Who
his
came from the
brother.
Braves. Yeah.
This is a break.
Oh, damn.
What about CC Sabathia?
He's on the
No.
Brewers, but I don't. He was.
Oh,
Never,
we got a comment.
okay,
the
Bryce
Harper.
Harper is not on either.
Bryce
He's Jay
Harper.
Devin.
Bryce Harper.
Sorry.
Yo, D-Fizzle, stick around though. We will
Yeah.
get to the football grid where you definitely-
Brewers, Tigers.
Should I just? So
You're just gonna come back to this? You wanna
No.
come back to this?
you want me to come back? So Devin, we can come back. You
You
want to go
wanna come
football?
back? I
Yeah,
do
let's go
think
football.
D-Fizzle is a fan and he might
Oh,
know.
the Patriots.
Oh, and oh my God.
We can let him run down the Patriots.
Patriots and Ravens. Let's go.
All right, Chase. You got any Ravens and Steelers?
Ravens, Steelers. Oh yeah, where do you want to start?
Wherever you want to start.
Chase, anywhere
Alright.
you want.
Let's do. Well, he was the most recent. Switch Arthur Mollett.
Shit, Chase, this is why we
MAU.
NAU.
No, MAU.
MAU.
Oh, MAU. Oh, he's right there.
This is
Love
why,
that.
Chase, we let you start.
Steelers, Vikings. Oh boy. All right, wait. Steelers, Browns. Joe Hayden.
Oh,
that's
great
a
call.
good one.
That's gonna be a popular one.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Steelers, Vikings. Steelers, Vikings is
It's okay. Get over the Harper best hair in the league comment from D-Fizzle when literally we're in the Brewers category.
he does have the best hair.
1,000+ receiving yards.
Steelers, Vikings. Fuck.
Adam Thielen.
Oh, 1,000 for Vikings. This might be under the radar. Mike Wallace.
What's your confidence level, Chase? Hold on, Chase. Chase, I have Adam Thielen ready to roll.
I was gonna say I know 90% sure he's had 1,000-yard year. Might not have been with the Vikings. Definitely had 1,000-yard year, and I know 100% he played with the Vikings.
I'm in.
Oh
Convinced.
my god.
It's a gamble.
Oh,
It didn't hit.
oh, come on.
I mean, I was
All right,
90%
we're
good.
sure on
Oh
the
my-
yards.
Oh my gosh.
Devin's not helping with the Patriots anyway. So
We literally came over to this grid for you. We bounced.
All right, Patriots, Ravens. I might as well revamp myself.
who's 1,009?
Oh, hold on. I'm digging deep here.
Oh my gosh. D-Fizzle has never. It's like
So Devin, it's you have to match the two teams. So like this, so the top middle one, it has to be a player who played on the Patriots and the Browns, or like
Yes.
the middle one. has
yeah,
to be
yeah. So Patriot
Patriots,
Brown,
Vikings.
Patriot Viking, Patriot Raven, The 1,000-yard
All right.
receiving guys are only for the Browns, Vikings, and Ravens because it's like Sudoku, maybe. I don't know how to
All
describe
right,
it.
Patriots, Ravens, Lawrence Guy.
Oh, that's a name.
There he is. Bazinga.
I like it.
Jesus for a second.
Dominating that Ravens category. All right,
Yeah.
Ravens 1,000-yard receiver.
Who you got?
My heart says Anquan Bolden. My head says Torrey Smith. I think you can't go wrong with either.
I like Bolden.
Nope,
What?
probably Torrey Smith.
Wait, Chase or
They said Matt Judon.
Oh yeah, for the Ravens Patriots.
Oh.
Yeah.
Apologies, D Fizzle.
All right, go.
I didn't know he played on the Ravens.
Yeah, he first played with the Ravens.
Well, Dev, if you have one for the Browns, Patriots,
Or the Vikings.
Vikings, Patriots. We still got two.
Patriots, Browns, I think is not Julius Peppers, damn it. Jabril Peppers.
Oh, that's true.
There's about to throw in a Brown Patriot right now. A good hit, Chase.
I'll wait like
Browns.
1 sec. Else we could just do a 1,000-yard Browns receiver.
Browns. Oh, yeah.
You're gonna go with like Donovan Peoples Jones?
Do you have 1,000?
No.
I was gonna say these are two people not totally sure about, but I know they had really big years. Terrell Pryor, I know had a 1,000-yard year, and it might have only been 1 year he did it. But I don't know if it was with the Browns or the Redskins.
I think it was a.
Yeah. I
And then
think
there was
this
and
point.
then they had that one backup tight end, Gary Barnage, who went off the 1 year.
I don't know
And
who
I think he
that
had
is.
1,000 yards receiving.
Oh, Devin's like KJ Osborne.
Oh,
Is
Vikings Pats. Should we close it out on
All right,
that?
we'll do that, and I gotta look.
I think he
which-
just signed there, though.
Oh, Dev,
Oh.
we forgot they have to
Oh,
play
yeah,
a game.
Did they have to
At
play
least
a
one game.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Did he
that.
just sign there?
This off-season, Chase?
I think so. I think he was with the Vikings last year, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know anyone else. Vikings.
Who's the other guy?
Pat-
Gary.
Oh, wait,
Barnage
Randy
or
Moss.
something?
Wasn't
Wait,
Randy
just in
Moss
case?
Vikings and Patriots?
Who?
Randy Moss, wasn't he in the
Oh,
Vikings and
yeah.
the Patriots?
Yes,
I
that.
like Gary Barnage. So.
Yeah, I kind of like Gary Barnage too.
Oh, yeah,
I put him
definitely
in
Randy
there.
All
Moss.
right, go Randy Moss. Take the safe hit. We
Really?
had 2 Mosses.
I feel like we gotta go Gary Barnage.
Okay.
Here, when are we ever gonna bust him out? I think he was Browns and Panthers, but we never.
Oh,
Let's go. Let's go.
what a pull!
All right, so that
Yeah,
Gary
it's
Barnes
just-
will.
We weren't gonna ever be able to have another Gary Barnage time, so I had to put it. But Randy Moss definitely fits there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, we hit. Who do we miss? Any notables?
For where? The middle?
Just anybody.
Oh, Pat P. Damn.
I forgot
Patrick
about Le'Veon
Peterson.
Bell too, but
Oh yeah, he kind of jumped. I didn't remember him on the Ravens. Chase, did
he
he
jumped
do
around at the end.
anything?
Yeah, Le'Veon. Yeah, he played a couple games with them. I think last year or 2 years ago. I think at this point.
Can you look up the that Gary Barnage seasons? Oh, can you see this? Will it show you?
Oh, you know it won't. Oh, it will. Oh, it's Terrell Pryor, Chase.
Oh,
I
he's on
knew
there
it.
too?
Yeah.
I knew it.
Oh, Beckham and Landry, both in 2019 at 1,000.
That's who I was
year.
thinking of,
I'm gonna
Josh
zoom in a
Gordon.
bit.
Oh yeah, Josh Gordon. Yeah. Gary Barnage was like 2015 or something.
Isn't Kellen Winslow in jail for the rest of his life for some really
Oh
bad
my
shit?
gosh.
Isn't that him?
Oh, maybe. Or Kellen Winslow Jr.
Oh yeah, that's Junior Ben.
Are we
Kellen Winslow
sure?
Jr. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry, mister.
Sorry, Mr. Kellen Winslow, who used to be
Yeah.
the Travis Kelce before there was Travis Kelce in the 1980s.
Wait, so is Junior okay then?
No, I don't know.
Oh, if it's Junior that we're thinking of, then it's bad. It's like really bad shit. Oh yeah, it's him. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Convicted sex offender. What else
Whoops.
went on?
Yeah, so Senior's okay.
yeah,
He just was a bad dad.
yeah.
Well, maybe.
I mean, he had some pretty insane highlights. Sometimes it comes up on like NFL memorable games. And he
Yeah.
literally was just basically the Kelce before there was a Kelce.
Yeah. And To D Fizzle's comment, stay off the weed. To Josh Gordon, we should probably say to Kellen Winslow Jr., stay off the kids.
Yeah, he's in a 14-year prison sentence that started in 2021. So,
it's not that long.
14 years it's kind of a long time. I mean, he was arrested for rape and unconscious 17-year-old girl. So it's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. That'll do it.
Okay. Well, let's hop back to
hop back. Yeah.
I just wanted to see the Gary the
season.
Yeah,
that's what we were looking for.
I wanted to see how many Gary Barnidge, how many years did he only have one? Oh my gosh.
Yep. Just a monster year.
1,043. Those 43 yards really
he only ever hit over 500 one other time. Chase, how did you remember that guy?
Because he was with Cleveland and he gassed the Ravens twice that year.
He was terrible for a tight end 2016. What happened?
And by the way, 2015 Cleveland, dumpster fire.
Who was the quarterback? Was it Brandon Weeden?
Johnny Manziel.
Oh.
I don't even know if it was Johnny Manziel. It might have been.
Panthers. Jesus.
Oh, this is going down a rabbit hole.
This is going down a bad rabbit hole, but I just need to see who at least the.
Oh, look at all those L's for the 2015 Browns.
Oh, it was split by McCowan and Manziel. Also, Austin Davis played 3.
Manziel went 2-4. Why didn't they keep him in there?
2-4 with 7 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
It's not that bad.
Isaiah Crowell.
And Duke Johnson. 2 running backs I could stand to put in a dumpster.
Oh, rushing and receiving.
Terrell Pryor.
D Fizzle's asking me to do another NFL game.
Oh, another. We gotta do the other ones first, Dev.
Travis Benjamin. He's a good immaculate great guy.
Oh yeah,
he's been around.
All right, well, let's go back, Dev. I think we're gonna quickly finish this baseball.
There's no way.
All right, Chris Capuano. Let's see what happens. Brick.
No.
We're in.
I really like Kyle Kendrick for the bottom left.
Okay.
Okay, well, Chase, you might as well
what
throw
about
your guess.
Brewers Cubs, isn't that like Lorenzo Cain or somebody, like one of those outfielders?
Love it.
Okay. We got through that quick. Oh, there's Ramos Ramirez. Oh, Prince Field is a brick.
That's a brick.
Yeah.
That's a brick.
Yep, big brick. Molitor's also kind of a brick.
All
That's
right.
like
so real quick, just 9 for 9 basketball.
Okay.
Yeah, no big deal. Okay. No Spurs, so we got it.
We're Kings. Back one up and see if we like that one better.
No, we're good. No, Ben, we're not gonna be babies here.
Oh
Golden State and the Rockets. I feel like there's plenty to pick from there.
Anderson Varejao.
I love it.
They guaranteed the championship year.
Yeah, I knew that was a guaranteed hit because God tried to get both.
Golden State Pacers.
Oh,
like David West.
Yep.
Wasn't he?
Yep. David West, Golden State Pacers. Good hit, Chase.
Oh yeah.
We go Shaq for the Celtics Cavs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good hit, Ben. So far, so good.
I mean, these are kind of higher percentages.
Oh, Boston Pacers, Brogdon.
Yep. I haven't even said one name yet. You guys are just killing this. Oh, Dev said Kyrie. Oh, he would have fit for Cavs Celtics.
He still fits probably for Cavs All NBA.
So
right?
D Fizzle's exploding this chat right now. I can't even keep up.
He's probably an All NBA for the Cavs, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You go that route.
That was a little sketchy.
Really?
Pacers All NBA.
Probably Reggie Miller or Paul George.
Oh yeah,
Paul George.
Paul Georgina.
I accidentally clicked on Malcolm Brogdon. It's fine.
Paul George had a game winner the other night.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, the Rockets.
That team's scary. I won't get into that.
Rockets, Golden State. I feel like you could get like a Monte Ellis in there or something. Was he ever on the Rockets?
I don't know.
DJ Augustin, was he ever on either of them?
He's definitely on the Rockets, I'm pretty sure. Was he on the Warriors?
I don't
He
know.
might have been on both. That's a tough one though. Chris Paul.
Yes.
But yeah.
That was almost a really bad miss. Great hit, Ben, the
Such a high
74%er.
percentage.
We never get perfect.
James Harden.
Oh, Rockets,
NBA.
Boston. Who was that? A dumpy, big Daniel Tice, wasn't he? Is he on the Rockets? Or
Oh, I
is he
don't
on
know.
the Spurs, I think.
Yes, he's on the Pacers.
Kelly Olynyk, was he ever on the Rockets?
Oh, I don't know. It
We could
seems
do
like
James
it.
Harden.
Yeah.
Dev said James Harden for all NBA.
Dev, you're a Celtics fan. You have to come through right here for Celtics
Is he a
Rockets.
Celtics fan?
Yeah, it's a squad.
Celtics, Rockets.
Oh,
It's a stretch.
stretch.
I feel like they've had people switch recently too. Like
Yeah.
make their way
Did
between.
Boogie Cousins have a stint on the Celtics?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Taco Fall. It's just all the big guys.
Who was
Dwight
on those like
Howard.
James Harden Rockets teams?
It's like PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon.
Did Rondo ever go on the Rockets? I know he bounced around late, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Ray Allen.
Yeah, I don't think Ray Allen did either.
God, who was like the Rockets bench? Like
I know.
Jamal Crawford, was he on the Rockets that time?
It's not a bad guess.
Trevor Ariza.
Trevor Ariza just definitely on the Rockets. Definitely
Yeah.
on the Rockets. I don't know. He was on the Celtics.
They definitely had like a big guy. Like wasn't Kendrick Perkins on them? Or somebody like that, some big center.
That could potentially be one.
Clint
Or-
Capella was there for a minute with James
Big
Harden.
Baby Davis, was he ever on the
Oh, I like that guess.
Should we do it?
Glenn Davis.
Just go for it.
It's 1D, 1N. Wait. Are we
I'm
sure
nervous.
Go with this? Wait, hold on. He only played
I'm
7
nervous.
years.
I'm
It's not-
nervous.
Oh, we have 1 minute. If no one guesses it, we're gonna go Glenn Davis.
All right.
let me just
All right,
think
try to
of-
think.
I am. Cue the Jeopardy.
This is Final Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Dun,
Something's wrong.
dun, 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 dun.
I feel like- Why can't I remember any Celtics players?
I know, we play them all the time. I don't
But like
remember.
Jack. I low-key like Trevor Ariza. How
Yeah, I
many
don't
years did
He was
Trevor
ever
Ariza-
with Boston.
Yeah. All right, just go Glenn Davis.
Oh,
Burp.
who did we miss? Jeff
Green.
He's such a
Damn
good
it.
immaculate grid guy.
45.
We have to remember
Jason
Jeff-
Terry. Oh,
another great.
Avery
Bruno
Bradley.
Fernando, Maryland. He would have been a good one.
Oh, Gerald
Gerald
Henderson.
Henderson. Oh,
RJ
RJ
Hunter.
the Georgia Tech guy.
Oh,
Georgia State.
yeah,
Georgia State. Yeah.
Kelly
ISO
Olynyk.
Joe.
Kelly
Ice-
Olynyk was on the Rockets, and Daniel
Damn.
Tice.
Oh, and
Jason
Marcus
Terry.
Morris.
Oh, Tice
No,
was.
Tice
Chase.
was, and so was Olynyk. Marcus
Oh,
Morris.
man. The only thing that would have made this worse is if Zoran and Goran Dragic were on this team.
Dang. All right. Well, I'm gonna end the actual recording.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you
Yeah.
guys watching. We appreciate you sticking around
Oh,
for as
yeah.
long as
We're
you
it's
have.
an hour and 23
Yeah.
minutes. Steve Fizzle. We usually hop on around 7:30, just
Yeah.
in case you ever want to catch us next week.
We appreciate you listening and watching. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Now it's time for after hours.
Guys, we're deep down there.
We're deep.
All
All right.
so-
See you guys.
See y'all.
Peace.